Governor Walker's budget proposal includes about $900 million in cuts to school aid. Schools say that's deeper than expected. Districts around the state are crunching numbers to know how much of the $900 million they'll have to shoulder. News 8's Kristen Elacerio talked with La Crosse school officials today, and she joins us now with more.
Mike, schools say until the budget is final, it's hard to determine where specific cuts will be made. But the release of the budget proposal has given school districts around the state preliminary tools to move forward. Originally, schools were preparing for cuts that amounted to about $500 per student. Now schools are estimating that will be closer to $550. In addition to this nearly 9% cut to school aid, Governor Walker also proposed that no taxes be raised to make up for the lack of state funding, saying instead there's cost savings tools in the budget repair bill to help. The La Crosse School District is looking at nearly $4.5 million in cuts. Superintendent Jerry Kember estimates $3.7 million of that could potentially be made up through some of the cost-saving measures the governor is proposing, but says there will still be a pretty significant financial shortfall.
I really think the repeal of some of the state mandates that we're looking at is really limited in terms of cost savings, but it's something we need to analyze and take a closer look at.
One of the biggest savings would come from school employees contributing more to their pension and health care benefits, a component that's still in limbo pending a vote from the state Senate.
We pay the employee and the employer's share towards retirement. So that'll be a change of 5.8% to our employees. And right now our employees pay 10% of their health benefit, and this will raise it to 12.6%.
Other tools to save districts money include the elimination of state education mandates for things like open enrollment and the number of days and hours schools are required to be open.
You don't need to schedule 180 days of instruction if you meet the hourly requirements, the minimum hours. So, for example, schools could run a shorter week and longer days.
The repeal of state mandates included in the governor's proposal also means schools wouldn't need to fill certain instruction positions with specialized teachers.
I do believe in the expertise of teachers, and I don't think that's perhaps a good thing for kids, but they put that out there as a potential flexibility and cost-saving measure.
Now, Walker's budget proposal doesn't hinder a school's ability to control class size or hold pre-K classes. It's important to note that the numbers I mentioned are based on this year's enrollment numbers and material costs. A number of districts worry Governor Walker's budget proposal fails to account for the rising cost of fixed expenses, saying cuts could be higher or lower depending upon what those are.
All right, thanks, Kristen. Now, schools say they expect to get a much more comprehensive analysis about where they stand financially from professional organizations like WEAC, who are currently going over the recently released budget in detail.